Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and shout.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we are live, and we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast, and we are super duper excited. We are happy, elated, whatever word you want to use. We're in the playoffs. Second seed. Bills is moving forward. We got to this point into the season, and we told you that we're going to have an amazing show this week. And as you can see, as you're looking, you already see it. The cat is out the bag. But before we do that, let me introduce the guys here today. My guy, Matt, a.k.a. Matty Ice. Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be here. Playoff edition. Another year we're in the playoffs. Just happy to pod, man. Happy to be here. What's going on, guys?
Absolutely. And you see him, yours truly, Rad, a.k.a. All Purpose Rad. How's your day going?
I'm doing great. I got on my black hoodie. I know that, that's customary to Bills laws, but whatever. We're not going to talk about that. It don't matter. But I'm happy to be here. Man, great show ahead. We've got a special guest, man. Can't wait to chop it up with him. So I'm doing great.
Absolutely. Definitely excited and humble. We appreciate the time. And as you can see, our special guest, we definitely advertised it, and we definitely appreciate him being here today. One who has played in the NFL 8 years. I mean, we all know him, right? We all know him, and you see him, Lee Evans, Mr. Evans, as I would like to call him. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Happy to be on with you guys, man. It's good to have some playoff, exposure, and like I said, every year. You got to earn your right to play in the cold weather, and so the Bills have done that this year. So I'm excited to be on with you guys.
I like that.
Absolutely, I like that. Earn your way to play in the cold. I like that too. We appreciate Mr. Evans of being on. Appreciate his time. Listen, we want everybody out there right now. Like, share right now. We want you to do that right now. Please get the word out. We see the numbers continuing to go up. We appreciate you. And let me shout out OverdueBillsPod.com. Before we get into the show, OverdueBillsPod.com. That's where you can find all Overdue Bills content. You see the merch. You see everything going on. We appreciate everybody even now. And also, too, let me say this. We appreciate Buffalo fan base. We have a collab with them. So we're on their platform. So we actually like and share with them. And before we get into the show, Matt, let the people know who is our presenting sponsor.
Yes, sir. This show and every other show is brought to you by the good people at Art of Glass Smoke Shop. Just like the Bills on the field, Art of Glass Smoke Shop lights the competition up. Western New York's one-stop shop for any and all of your smoking needs. Art of Glass Smoke Shop has everything you need from CBD to kratom to rolling papers and so much more. Stop into any one of their Western New York locations today and definitely go check those guys out. They also have a premium cigar lounge located at 3495 Delaware Avenue in Kenmore. Stop in, check them out today. Mention the Overdue Bills podcast. You get a complimentary day pass if you go into the cigar lounge if you mention us, and you also get 50% off of your all glass purchases. Now, this week is a special week for our guys over at Art of Glass. AOG is their cigar lounge, premium cigar lounge. They are celebrating their 1-year anniversary. So you can go down there, check those guys out. If you're not a member, which I highly recommend that you become a member because you get great deals, great selection of any kind of liquor, drink specials, cigars. Most importantly, go check those guys out. You get free entry if you're a member. If you're not a member, you get a day pass for $25. That day pass gets you a free Rocky Patel cigar. And it also gets you into some raffles. I know I went to the grand opening. They were giving away a lot of stuff. And, as you can see, our guy Lee is going to be there. He's going to make an appearance. So you might be able to, stop in and say hi to Lee. So definitely go check those guys out this Saturday starting at 6 o'clock. Go bring in that 1 year with those guys. I know I'll probably make an appearance myself. You can run into your favorite Overdue Bills guys or one of your favorite former Bills players. So check them out.
Facts.
Absolutely. Shout out to Art of Glass. Definitely appreciate them for being our presenting sponsor. And we want to get into the show. We want to get into the show. And y'all know how we start every show with the quick question of the day. And y'all know when it's playoff time, I like to do trivia.
Do you?
I do like to do trivia. And since Mr. Evans is on, because we was looking up things and play for the Bills. You were pick number 14, right?
13.
13. First round, 13. Pick number 13 in the first round. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Wide receiver pick 13, first round. So I said, here's the quick question of the day. This is the trivia. Because this one, at least I had seen it. They started recording this in 1960, the draft picks, right? So my question to everybody on here, and I probably may not know it, and everybody out there, if you're in the comments, please, if you can answer it as well. How many receivers did the Buffalo Bills since 1960 pick in the first round? How many receivers do you think since 1960?
Till 2024.
Present day. And obviously we know one. We have one here. Yeah. It's not, and I'll give you a hint. I'll just give you a hint because it's like all over the place. It is not over 10. I'll just give you that. It is not over 10. Okay. All right. So just to throw a hint out there for everybody. But you can answer it in the comments. How many receivers did we select in the first round since 1960 to present day? Matt, I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, Matt gotta go first.
Man, I'm gonna say probably just 3. I can only think of 3. I know that's crazy to say.
That's
but
insane.
I'm thinking Lee, Eric Moulds, and Sammy Watkins is the 3 that come to mind. But was Eric Moulds was a first rounder,
yes,
correct?
He was. Yeah,
That's the only 3 that come to mind for me. So I'm sticking with 3.
Oh, and if you in the chat, definitely put your number. Put.
Yeah,
I got shout out to Eddie. We got 5.
Yeah. What you got, Rat? I'm gonna let Mr. Evans go last.
You said how much, Matt? You said 3.
Yeah, Matt said 3.
Yeah, I said 3.
Lee, Sammy, I got 3 too. So I'm gonna 4 just to be different. 4.
My boy Price is right at me.
Oh, look, 2 people say 5. Shout out to Stephanie. Stephanie says 5. 5. I don't know.
So I don't know who you missing. 5, 3, 4. Mr. Evans, do you can I get a good guess? Get a good guess?
I want to say 7.
Oh my God,
7.
You want to say that? You gonna stick with that?
Final answer? Stick with 7.
It was 65 years. That's number 1. Let me just say that from 1960 to 2025.
But the NFL was a running league up until
what
recently, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Listen, there is no home cooking here, y'all. But Mr. Evans got it right. There's 7.
Oh,
damn.
7 is crazy.
At least somebody knows their Bills history. That's all right.
Listen. And because obviously I have no idea who some of these players are. So in 1968, we selected Haven Moses from San Diego State. He was the 9th overall pick. Shout out to him. That was our first wide receiver. Obviously OJ was after that. Shout out to OJ. But then in 1971, J.D. Hill, right receiver from Arizona State. Yeah. I know Mr. Evans is older than us. I'm not sure if he knows any of these players that I'm naming.
No Hill.
Okay. Oh, you know Hill?
Okay. We naming them.
Shout out to Hill. In 1979, Jerry Butler from Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selected him 5th overall.
5th.
Yeah. In 1982, Perry Tuttle from Clemson. Wow, that's crazy.
Another one from Clemson.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins from Clemson. I don't know who Perry Tuttle is. Clemson in 1982. And then we actually moved up in the draft with Denver. That was crazy. But anyways, the next receiver is Eric Moulds, Mississippi State. He was 24 in 1996. And then obviously yours truly, Lee Evans, Wisconsin, 13. And then the last one was Sammy Watkins from Clemson. So I guess Clemson, I don't know, Clemson and Buffalo, maybe it's a story history. Yeah. But That was a little bit of trivia. So, Mr. Evans, he got it right. It was 7. I couldn't believe that. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, 1, 2.
Wait,
3,
so
4.
the question is, did you know it was? Is that a guess, or you knew it was 7?
Well,
No,
I knew it was 7. It was a guess.
That was a
No.
guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he guessed it. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, when he said under 10, because I was thinking 8, but then he said under 10. I'm like, let's go 7.
I mean, I had to
That's
get because if I wouldn't have said under,
That's
well,
crazy.
Matt said 3, but
I was just going off what I know, when all else fails, go off what you know.
Right.
absolutely. But we appreciate everybody in the comments for participating in that trivia, and we kind of move on. But I want to ask this before. We're going to talk about the playoffs in a second, y'all. We're gonna get to a lot of things, but since we have Mr. Evans on, we do want to ask him some questions. He obviously has a wealth of knowledge. And before we kind of get into like the NFL questions, I did want to ask you, because I know Matt said that you are coaching high school right now, correct?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this just in a broad sense, as it relates to like the NIL. I know obviously you were heavily recruited, at Wisconsin, and it's different. I don't know. They had brown paper bags there. I'm not sure what was going on there. I don't know. We're not going to talk about that. But
Right.
but now NIL, things of that nature, things are out in the open. Some people call it the Wild Wild West. I want to ask you this question, Mr. Evans. Like, what do you say to your players? Like, what's kind of your mentality as it relates to those things and all this money flying around and so on and so forth? Like, what do you say about that?
Well, just to be clear, the high school that I'm at, we don't really have a ton of NIL talent.
Okay.
On football,
Okay.
right? But I mean, obviously the guys see them, and a lot of guys we play against, right? Everybody's looking at, who's 4-star, who's 5-star, all of that, right? And how do you need to present yourself? How do you need to market yourself? All of these things, and and I tell them, first and foremost, your play has to talk louder than anything. You can go sell yourself. You can go create an Instagram clip or, cut up a film and make yourself look, but your play is going to talk. And, the more you play, the more you get on the field, and playing against other players, even if you aren't the guy, it could be a guy looking for somebody else that's saying like, oh, who is that guy? Right. And then that's how you get yourself known. So you let your talk play, you let your play talk for you. And then, everything else off the field is, to each his own. Some guys are a lot more in tune with the social media than other guys, a lot more, social outgoing than other guys. But, you let your play talk, and then, the people who really know football, who see football, they'll be able to see you.
Yeah.
So, you go, Matt.
Well, no, so that's good. I guess we can transition kind of into your time in Buffalo. So I guess, Lee, just kind of touch on, you spent pretty much all your career here. What does Buffalo mean to you? I know you're back a few times a year, doing things for Buffalo. Kind of touch on your time here and what is special about Buffalo to you.
Buffalo was great for me. You got to remember, I'm from Cleveland, right? So there's no other place that I could have played closer to home unless I played in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So, my family would come up and, we would tailgate and, and have a good time and, all of that. So, Buffalo became kind of family for me because my whole family would come up and they still come up and go to games and tailgate and still have relationships with people around Buffalo. So I think that's one of the things that makes Buffalo special is, even years later now, being able to come back and, go to Art of Glass and, still be supported by people in Buffalo. I think that's one of the things that makes it special. And you got to remember, it wasn't like I played in Buffalo at a time where we were going to the playoffs or, all of that. And the support and love is still there. So I think that says everything you need to know about the Buffalo fan base and people.
Yeah, shout out to Bills Mafia. So obviously, I'm gonna ask a question current day, like, right? You're like the original meme, like with you and JP Losman. He's like, throw it down there somewhere, lead down. You know what I mean? I remember that's what I grew up. That was my thing. Lead down there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Just shout out to JP. So, but watching, our current quarterback, Josh Allen, like, do you feel like, man, this is any, like, man, not to diss any, Fitzpatrick's of the world or Drew Bledsoe's of the world, nothing like that. But, feel like, man, if I play with Josh Allen, little things got shaken a little more. So what's your thoughts on the current quarterback of the Bills right now, Josh Allen?
I mean, what he's doing is, to me, he's the league MVP. Right. I mean, he's done, what he's done this year. I mean, he's done a lot of great things in years past. Right. But, what he's done this year, I think one was kind of unexpected. Right. Years before he had Diggs and, he had some other guys. And this year, you coming in with, some guys that, you may not know as much. And the way that he spread that ball around and his execution late in games, I think, is one of the biggest differences from this year than many of the other years. So, I think it's great. It would have been great to play with a guy like that for sure. Big, strong guy, can extend the plays, let it go. But from what he's doing right now, I'm loving watching everything he's doing.
So I had a question for you, Mr. Evans. I want to talk about as it relates to expectations, right? You come from Wisconsin, heavily recruited to go there, and then not only heavily recruited to go there, going into the league. I mean, you a first round draft pick. I mean, like, not many can say that. Like it's like the level of expectations that was on you were enormous. And I wanted to kind of get your mindset on that as it relates to, obviously, we have a Keon Coleman. He wasn't first round, but he was a second round, you know what I'm saying, pick, and so on and so forth, that we have these draft picks and we pick these players. Y'all come to this city. Many of you are necessarily maybe foreign to Buffalo, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. You come to a small market, but a great market, right? Rabid fan base. 60, 70,000 people who are there tailgating right before, like, you know what I mean? We won it. We won the Super Bowl, right? Like we've been trying to get this, and you get here with all these expectations on you. Like, how did you manage that? You know what I mean? Like, how did you kind of grapple with that? Like, man, we just picked Lee. Like, Lee got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody said, Lee got to do it. Lee got to do it. Like, how did you manage that?
Well, I mean, you just get into the game. You get into the work. You focus on that, right? I mean, it's going to be a lot of voices, a lot of expectations, a lot of, outside, things, distractions that just are a part of life and a part of sports. But when you're in the building, it's really about the guys in the building. And hey, can we come together and can we play together to win? And that's really what it all comes down to. How close knit your team is. And, can you fight through adverse situations? Because, I mean, that's what the season is going to bring upon you.
No, yeah, that's I'm happy you mentioned the work and things of that nature. So we had last season, we had a friend of the pod, guy we grew up in naming Roosevelt. We asked him about his transition into the league and who was the guy that, you wanted to emulate. And the first thing that came out was, as soon as we walked in, it was Lee Evans was the OG. He was a guy. You said it earlier. He let his play talk. He came in, he got to work, and that's what he wanted to be. Who in this receiver group, I guess, do you see? I guess maybe you see, all of them in you, like in your transitions in your career here. But who do you see right now that's kind of like, man, he's doing a lot of stuff that I was doing, or things of that nature?
Well, I can tell you, I watched Coleman in college when he was at Florida State. He worked out down in Florida with some guys I knew, and they were raving about him. And then I watched him last year at Florida State, and I loved everything. I mean, he's a big guy, strong to the ball. Just kind of fearless. And then picking up Cooper was another guy who I watched when he was in college, and I've kind of followed his career and love what he's been doing. He's kind of bounced around a little bit, but you're talking about a guy who has strong hands and that could just make plays. And after the catch, he has some speed that he can turn on after the catch. So, both of those guys I think have, they're growing into playing with a new quarterback. But I think Josh has given them, all of the, all of the opportunities and putting the balls in great places where they can go and make plays and use their frame.
Good, and I'm happy. I just got a little second part to that. My bad. I mean to cut you off, but it goes in perfectly. Do you think this receiver group can get it done with Josh? I guess is a question that we are asked and we ask ourselves on this show weekly. You know what I mean? Do you think this group of guys can get it done with Josh?
I do. I think with Josh at the helm right now, the way that the team is playing, obviously they have, one of the biggest things that I've always said about the Bills in years past was, the commitment to the run game. And I think this year the commitment to the run game has been a lot better and a lot more effective. And I think that's helped Josh and helped all the receivers around him. So I think that the group that they have right now, they played well all year. They're not, they're not in the position that they're in for by chance. I think it's something that's been earned, and Josh has really put it on his shoulders to command that offense. So yeah, I do think they can get it done.
You sound like, we should have him on the show more. He sound like me. The run game, the wide receivers be good. He sound a lot like, I'll just say it. He sound like, I want to go to the, a viewer question. Actually, do you have a favorite play of your play since you've been your playing time in Buffalo?
Favorite play
that you made. No, that's what they're asking. Do you have a favorite play that you made?
Favorite play, I guess.
I got a couple to jog your memory right here. If you want me to add, I got a little. We got a little. If you need to jog your memory,
I don't think he has to jog his memory.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he knows all his. Yeah.
I tell you my favorite play. My favorite play was actually you're not far off there. It was against the Jets.
Wow.
And it was like a 50-50 ball with me and Revis.
Oh. Shout out to Revis.
Me and Revis are kind of going up and, made that play, and, they kind of crashed into each other, and it was kind of a walk-in touchdown. So, that was one play
that's a good one on the resume for sure.
Great. I remember, Mr. Evans, correct me if I'm wrong. Like watching, all my life, you had a 200-yard game or something like that, right? Like you went off.
Yeah, Houston.
How many yards was that? Do you remember?
I remember 200 and what was that was 280-yard play. And then I think it ended up a little over 200, maybe 215, something like that.
Sheesh.
Yes, yeah, that's a day.
That's a
fantasy players were loving you that day for sure.
Yeah.
I always want to ask somebody, who had this many highlights. Do you go back and watch them? Do you go go to YouTube and click in? There you go, 11 for 265.
265.
Shortchange yourself. But do you ever go back and watch these highlights? Do you ever go back?
I don't. My son does though.
Okay.
My son will go back and watch them, and I got a 16-year-old son now, and a 6-year-old son. So they'll go back and watch it, and they'll watch it, but then they'll also critique and say like, "Dad, look, you look crazy running. Like what do you think?" Stuff like that. So it's good.
It's funny when I've seen that, even like the 265. I wanted to ask. I know it's different now because like gambling was sort of taboo back then. Like obviously it's not in your face with all of the sports gambling on your phone and stuff like that. But I'm sure like the players were aware of something. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like it like people didn't know what was going on. But my question is for you, Mr. Evans, because I know like now how we get so rabid about my receiver didn't get over 80 yards, or you know what I'm saying? You can gamble on that, like the parlays and things of that nature. Did you get any? I don't use the word criticism, but did you hear any of that flat? Kind of back when you were playing, or is it like things that people wrote in the paper, like he didn't get over this? I was looking at that, or was it any of that as far as gambling is concerned, or no?
No, I didn't. No, I'll say no to that. It was more, you might get some fantasy stuff more than anything, not necessarily gambling.
Okay. Well, I guess the gambling is taking its turn.
Yeah, sure.
But with that being said, what we want to do, because we do want to talk about the playoff game. I know everybody's coming on now. We're about to reach we almost had 1,000 people. Listen, Hit that like, hit that share button right now. Hit it right now. Hit it right
Absolutely.
now. We want to do we call it our Rad Juice player of the game. We generally talk about the game, but we're going to do a little twist on it for our Rad Juice player of the game. We're going to ask Mr. Evans and everybody. You can say it in the comments if you want. Your favorite Bills player historically. You could go in any era. Doesn't have to be now. Just historically at any time, your favorite player. All right. And this is our Rad Juice player of the game. And before we do that, I have to let people know who's sponsoring this segment. This segment is brought to you by Rad Juice. Real fruit, real flavor, real kids. Tired of the same old drinks? Rad Juice is here. Crafted by young entrepreneurs with a passion for taste. Why go rad? It's a real fruit adventure. Experience nature's finest in every sip. Pure and clean. No artificial additives, just pure refreshment. Triple the delight. Explore 3 exciting flavors, peach, strawberry, and tropical. And now you can find Rad Juice at 2 convenient locations near you. 716 Premium, located at 425 Elmwood Avenue, and Sweet Cheeks Cake Bar, located at 1685 Hurdle Avenue. Elevate your refreshment game with Rad Juice, created by kids, enjoyed by everyone. Go grab your Rad Juice right now. All right, so we're going to ask, who is your favorite Bills player historically? And I'm going to let Mr. Evans go first. I need everybody in the comments right now to put it in the comments who your favorite player is right now. Mr. Evans, who is your favorite player, you would say?
Well, I got a 1A and 1B because they kind of obviously, being a receiver, Andre Reed. I watched his whole career. Right, I'm in Cleveland. Cleveland left, for a few years, so I was really watching the Bills at that time. So him and Thurman Thomas, those, and then it was great because when I was playing there and I got to meet those guys and kind of hang with those guys. I mean, they're both awesome. So sometimes you have where somebody isn't what you think they are, but both Reed, he was instrumental for me in being in Buffalo, and Thurman Thomas, who's always been a supporter and just a great guy.
Absolutely. I love it. Reed, Thurman. Rat, who is your favorite player historically?
This is tough, right? So many. Do I want to go recent? You know what? I know nobody will say his name. This is a local talent. Somebody came from. He went to school with my sister. Shout out to Corey Graham, bro. Corey Graham from the town. I got his jersey. He's got a signed jersey. He went to Turner Carroll with my sister Mill. So shout out to Corey Graham. He had some great years for us as well. You know what I mean? It's a lot like Mr. Lee, like you said, played for Baltimore too. So shout out to Corey Graham. Shout out to Corey Graham Elite. He give back to the town. So Corey Graham, man, I love Corey Graham, man. I got to show him some love.
Definitely shout out Corey Graham. Matt, who is your favorite player?
Man, my favorite player, playing tight end, I always liked Scotty Chandler, man. Scotty Chandler was my guy. I always had the raw touchdown, little like digging the grave celebration. That was my guy. So got a shout out to my boy Scotty Chandler.
Shout out Scotty Chandler. For me, and that's because I was a Miami fan, like growing up as a child, like Miami football at the U. So Willis McGahee, I love Willis McGahee. He's just my guy, like coming out of the U, and it was just like
I know got him. Knee injury in the national championship game, bro. I almost cried watching that. Bro.
I did. I did.
Almost cried watching that.
It hurt me to my heart, but like growing up, like seeing him, I thought like he was. I know I had a little bit of him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
but shout out to
I like Aaron Schobel. Shout out to Aaron Schobel. I like Aaron Schobel. He's one of my favorite. Maybe same name. We got the same name. Maybe shout out Aaron Schobel. I liked.
So listen, everybody out there, please put your favorite player in the comments. We appreciate you putting them in the comments even now. But we do want to switch gears. Listen, we got Mr. Evans. Obviously, he has a wealth of knowledge as it relates to football and so many other things. But the Bills we do have a game Sunday at 1:00 home against the Denver Broncos, right? We have a game home against the Denver Broncos, and we kind of do want to touch base upon that and kind of get his thoughts on the game, keys for success, things of that nature, and who he has, get into the Super Bowl. We definitely want to hear that from him. But I do want to go to Matt first. Matt, as we look at this playoff game, right? And I believe the spread is 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they got us. They got us obviously, winning this game pretty handily. But I want to go to Matt first. Matt, in your opinion, like, what are your keys for success, for this particular game?
Yeah, I mean, just you got to put pressure on a young rookie quarterback first, right? I think we do a pretty good job of not letting people score. We have a bend but not break type of defense, right? So their run game really isn't great. So I think if we end up, we play our nickel defense, we'll be able to kind of get to the quarterback and get those guys out of there. Hurry up, Bo Nix in his progressions and things like that, not letting him run because he's been really effective with his legs.
He's been really effective with his legs. I think Matt froze a little bit, but that's fine. Right, I'm gonna go to you. What is your keys for success?
This is I mean, I think a lot what he was saying, I think is containing Bo Nix. All right, I think just understanding that he's going to be mobile. He's going to be a guy that gets out of the pocket. He's going to extend plays. One of his reads is going to be run. So I think containing him, getting him off the field early. But Matt, you back?
Yes,
probably not. Maybe not back. But so contain the Bo Nix. Honestly, if we get to Bo Nix, contain him, let him not extend plays. Cover up Cortland Sutton. You know what I mean? I think those are the two key things. And I honestly think we, obviously outscore them, but honestly for me is Bo Nix. Containing Bo Nix. I think he's the key that can hurt us because I think we have a problem with quarterbacks who mobile quarterbacks, a la Drake May, Lamar Jackson. Quarterbacks that can extend plays and hurt our defense, our shell defense. So I think honestly, Bo Nix keeping them in a pocket and making him beat us through the air.
Absolutely. Let me just say this. I see people in the comments. Somebody said offer Von Miller $1 million per sack. Make Bo Nix make mistakes. Crazy environment for the rookie. Things of that nature. All right. But I saved the best for last, Mr. Evans, because has a wealth of knowledge. I'm asking him about keys for success for obviously the Buffalo Bills, but also if you can kind of give us a little insight in preparation for even just NFL games, right? Just going into those NFL games, being in those rooms, you know what I mean? Going over plays, so on and so forth, going over new opponents, right? If you could kind of give us insight into that and like keys for success, like how is it, right, coming into an NFL locker room and then head coach, offensive coordinator, wide receiver room, how do they give you all keys for success in the games?
Well, one, you can look at spreads and all of that. Once you get to the playoffs, it's a completely different game.
Gotcha.
Right? So just making it to the playoffs, right, is what you want to do first. Once you get there, anything can happen. So as you're looking at different teams, you're looking at matchups. Like where's our strength, right? Where's our strength? Where can we exploit this team? And I think that if for the Bills, if you can make Bo Nix throw the ball 40 times, I think that's a winning strategy, right? I don't think he can beat you throwing the ball that much. So with that being said, you got to stop the run. You got to stop the run because that's going to be the question for the Bills moving forward. Can they stop the run, right? And for a young quarterback, as they have in Bo Nix, a run game is going to be his best friend. So if they can start to run the ball, then they become a little bit more dangerous. And so I think that's going to be one of the biggest keys for the Bills is being able to stop that run and make Bo Nix beat you. And I don't think that Nix will be able to beat Allen in a shootout.
Facts.
I like that.
They don't want this to be a track meet. I think they want to keep Allen on the sidelines.
No doubt. And you mentioned before the show, I kind of want you to repeat kind of what the Bills. It kind of gave me chills, man. So I want you to kind of repeat it for the people out there watching what the Bills did. They earned. I'll let you say it, Lee.
Oh, they earned the right to play in the cold weather.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So with you saying that, I'm gonna ask you, as a guy who played at the Ralph, who had the Ralph going crazy many times we got home field advantage, from here on out until we happen to run into possibly KC, or we could have it throughout the whole playoffs if they stumble. Is home field advantage really a thing? Like, how much does it affect the other team at the Ralph? Because I mean, you played there,
Oh, it's definitely home field, for in Buffalo, especially with weather, especially if you have the wind, right? Because the wind in Buffalo is just so unpredictable. In a lot of stadiums it blows one way, kind of in Buffalo and in the Ralph it swirls. So the ball is a lot harder to track. Special teams become a premium. So if you're special teams, if you're weak there, it's going to get exposed. So I think it's certainly a big advantage for Buffalo in Buffalo.
That's good to know, because we always, that's a question we ask, like, is it really home field advantage, things like that. So I'm glad you're able to provide that insight for sure.
Absolutely. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give our score predictions in a second. We're gonna put Mr. Evans' feet to the fire and see who his Super Bowl pick is. We're gonna put his feet to the fire. And there is a question in the comments. There is a question in the comments that I do want to ask him before we get to the contest, Matt. Before we get to that, the question is, can we ask Mr. Evans who defended him the best? What defensive back or corner? If you can. If jog your memory, like who was one of those matchups where you said, like I gotta be on it today.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate when I was in Buffalo to practice against a couple really good corners.
Oh, that's a fact.
With Troy Vincent being there and Nate Clemens being there. But one of the guys that it was my rookie year, I'll never forget. It was just a rough matchup for me at the time. It was a guy in Baltimore, Chris McAllister, because he was long, he was fast, he was strong, he could play the ball well. So that was one that I always remember. That was just as a rookie, had me kind of trying to figure out what do I need to do to get open here, because it was tough.
I like that. It definitely deep cut too. I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't have guessed.
So let's flip it. What cornerback was food? You know what I'm saying? What cornerback you like, yo, let's go.
Talk about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of those. That was my mentality going into it. It's right. Everybody gonna get it.
Barbecue chicken.
Yo, listen, everybody out there, it's against Houston. 265-2. Whoever was checking Mr. Evans on that day, they
had a rough week in the film room after that. I'll tell you that much.
Shout out to him. I don't know who that is. Shout out to him and his family. Prayers to everybody involved. Listen. We're gonna get to our score predictions, but before we do that, before we get to our score predictions, Matt, can you please let the people know who won the contest last week and how they can enter into our contest this week for our playoff game?
Yeah, so last week we had nobody predicted the correct score, so we had to go with our tiebreaker, which was a little skewed. I thought Khalil Shakir would actually play a little bit more than he did, but that's okay because we do honor what we do. So the first tiebreaker we went with was Khalil Shakir's receiving yards. He didn't play, so he ended with 0. So the closest to 0 was Avery Barmore. So shout out to you. You got a $20 gift card to Art of Glass Smoke Shop coming your way. We'll reach out to us. We'll let you know how to get it. This week,
Friday. That's fire.
Yeah, absolutely. So this week we have our contest again. It's going to be for the playoffs. You're going to predict this. Your first and foremost, you're going to follow us and Art of Glass Smoke Shop on any one of our platforms, preferably all of them. You're going to predict the Buffalo Bills against the Denver Broncos score as a tiebreaker, just in case we get two people that do the correct score. We're just going to go with the closest to Josh Allen's passing yards. We're not going to do a secondary this week. We're just going to stick with the passing yards. So the winner of that will receive a $20 gift card to Art of Glass Smoke Shop. We're going to close the contest at 12:30 on Sunday, right before the game. So definitely get those submissions in on any one of our platforms, and good luck.
Please enter the contest. We appreciate everybody who has entered. We've had some of the same winners, so we want everybody to enter the contest. And even right now, like and share this video. We almost at 1,000 people right now, live viewers. Like and share this video right now. We want to get to 1,000 before the video is done. But before we do that, we got to ask score predictions. And then after score predictions, we're going to hold Mr. Evans' feet to the fire to see who his Super Bowl pick is. But Matt, let me ask you first. Give me your score of Buffalo against the Denver Broncos.
Man, I mean, our offense has been rolling. I think they keep that going. Denver does have a good defense. They get after the quarterback, but Josh Allen is the least sacked quarterback this year because of his escapability, and he's going to be able to keep plays going, and we're going to score some points. So I think we're going to keep the 30 train rolling. I'm going to go with 31 to 13 Bills.
31-13 Bills. Wow. Everybody in the comments right now, put your score predictions in the comments right now. Shout out to Jaheim. 40-10 Buffalo. And I believe Jaheim in the comments said to Mr. Evans, when he was in, I guess, grammar school, he met you when you probably went to one of those schools. He said he met you at it. So shout out to that. But Rad, what's your score prediction?
I think it's gonna be close in the first half. I think Denver will come out tough. I think it'll be a tough, in the first half. I think the Bills is going to adjust. And in the second half, we're going to put up some more points. So I got the Bills winning, I'm going to say 27-17. 27-17 Bills.
That's a close game. 27-17 Bills. I'm going to let Mr. Evans go last. My score for me, I believe it's going to be 28-7. It's going to be 28-7. I think that our defense is going to show up. I think it's going to be tough in the beginning of the game, right? Little playoff jitter, so to speak. But then second half, we're going to get it rolling, almost similar to the Jets game. So I got 28-7 Buffalo. Mr. Evans, let me hear your score prediction of the game, and I want to hear your Super Bowl pick. We're going to put your feet to the fire. We're going to put his feet to the fire, y'all.
All right, well, this game, I like the Bills. I think we, if I had to pick a score, I say probably 27-10.
Okay.
27-10. Super Bowl prediction. That's a real one. I tell you who I like to go to the game.
Okay.
I can tell you who I like for the matchup. I like Bills Eagles.
Okay.
Woo! All right.
I heard it first.
If we get there, then I'll make a prediction.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say right
now. That means we just gotta have you back. That means we gotta have you back to make the prediction on here. That's what that means. That's cool.
That's right.
We appreciate that, Bills, Eagles. Listen, I like it. I do like it as well. Listen, even now, shout out to everybody in the comments. We appreciate all y'all putting y'all scores into the comments. We almost at 1,000. We almost there. So hit that like, hit that share even now. But we're getting ready to transition off. We appreciate Mr. Evans' time that he came on. He thought it not robbery to come on and hang out with us. Listen, if you came on a little late, we asked him some beautiful questions in the beginning. So go back and watch the replay. Listen, I know a lot of people even coming on now, so watch the replay. We appreciate y'all. And let me just ask my co-hosts, Matt and Rad, do you have any more questions for Mr. Evans before we get off the show? Any more questions?
No, man. I just, just again, I'm going to piggyback on that. We definitely appreciate you getting on. I appreciate, hanging with you for this time. I know, you're definitely a busy guy, so I appreciate you locking this in with us.
Yeah, just second that, man. I'm grateful that you decided to, give an hour of your time, So that's awesome. Thank you for that. Continue blessings to you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on. I know it's been it's been a conversation we've been having for a while, man. So it's good to get on, man. So I definitely come back for sure.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. And like I said, check out our guys at Art of Glass this weekend. You may bump into myself, you may bump into Lee, you may bump into some people you don't know. So definitely check those guys out for their 1-year anniversary.
Facts.
Definitely. We about to get off, but we got one more question in the comments. And I'm actually curious about this question.
Yeah.
Mike Daniels, who's also on the show as well. He asked, were you ever mad at your Madden rating? And I don't know if you played Madden. Were you ever mad? You was?
No. You asked me if I ever played. Yeah, I played.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, played it. I think Madden. I don't know what the rating was, but they usually have my speed pretty good. So I was always happy.
They
with
did.
that.
That's a fact. We haven't,
Hit the audible to the the go route. Let's go.
Absolutely. I will say that. Definitely had the speed well. That's a fact. Because I definitely won many a game. But that, we appreciate the time. Listen, I'm excited.
Somewhere.
We got our 1,000. We got our 1,000 live viewers right now. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. Wonderful show. Listen, we're gonna be back next Tuesday at 7:00. All of us are anticipating a win Sunday, so let's get ready for the next game. Don't necessarily know who we're playing, but we're excited for this playoffs. We appreciate everybody in the comments, and y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that. Hey.
Peace.
Only Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and down.
We've seen why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
Now, baby. Come on.